inside for Albert. Albert will get the score. Fiddler, his farewell. He tapped into a legend and probably rugby league immortality. That's not a try, that's a miracle.
Welcome back to the Rugby League Guru podcast. We're going to dive into the round 25 team lists that have just dropped. Some big ins and some huge outs this weekend. A few superstars sitting on extended benches and whatnot. A lot to get stuck into. Catmandu, where are we kicking off this weekend?
Hello. We are kicking off with the Rabbitohs taking on the Dragons at Accor Stadium on Thursday night. Kickoff at 7:50.
For the South Sydney Rabbitohs, Tallis Duncan, he's been moved to centre once again. Bentley Harpe will not feature this week. Keaon, he's obviously been named in the front row to return. A huge return from Keaon. I think I saw NRL Physio say that he's returned in 5 weeks from his injury. The shortest he's seen previously is 4. So I'm expecting limited minutes for Keaon, but good to see some of these bunnies getting back on the field. That means that Jacob Host, he moves into the second row, and Lockie Hubner, he also returns in the 13 jersey. Now, Cody Walker's been named on the bench. He got through 50 minutes last week. I'm expecting him to probably start this game, but we'll see how that plays out. The other one I want you to take note is Hazen Mellors. He's been named on the extended bench of the South Sydney Rabbitohs, obviously with Duncan in the centres. It wouldn't shock me if he does debut. A kid with a lot of ability. He's been flying in New South Wales Cup the last few weeks. I think he's more of a winger than a centre, but it wouldn't shock me if maybe he gets a debut and they jink a few things around there. For the Dragons, my boy Halangahu gets his opportunity to start on the edge. Played big minutes last week with all their injuries. He will start on the edge, and Ben Murdoch-Masila, he will be in jersey 13. Tyrell Sloan, he was the 18th man last week. He ended up getting activated. He will come off the bench in jersey 17 for the St. George Illawarra Dragons. Friday afternoon, Kat.
Just going to add Hazen Mellors. We've worked a little bit with him and he's such a legend. I really hope to see that debut sometime soon. So Friday night, we have got some amazing games on our hands for Friday night. So strap yourselves in. 6 p.m, we have the Panthers taking on the Canberra Raiders. This one is out at Glen Willow Oval in Mudgee. Talk to us about this one.
Yeah, finals footy come early on Friday night. Sensational to see. For the Penrith Panthers, no big changes here. It's worth noting, though, Isaiah Yeo is on the extended bench. I think if Isaiah Yeo is on the extended, I think he will feature in this one. I don't think he'll miss this one against the Canberra Raiders. For the Raiders, no changes for them. They are 1-17 coming out of their bye. There was rumours that Tamale could return potentially for Jed Stewart. He's not on the extended, same as Matty Nicholson. We'll wait and see if they're potentially named in New South Wales Cup to play this weekend, but no changes for the Raiders. Another finals game after that, Mandu. What do we got?
I know. Another finals game after that. We've got Storm in second place taking on Bulldogs in third place. This one is at Amy Park in Melbourne. Kickoff at 8 p.m. right after Panthers Raiders.
Huge game for the Melbourne Storm here. If they win this one, I think they all but lock up a home final for week 1. I still think they're good odds regardless, but this will just lock it in. Cam Munster, he has been named at fullback once again. Pizzette named at 5'8". Bloor out of this game. Now, I'm not sure if that's a HIA injury dropped. I'm not too sure. We'll hope to get more details soon, but he has been playing limited minutes over the last few weeks. Bloor, maybe he's been carrying something. So Chan gets an option in the edge. He's been playing centre the last few weeks and defensively done a really good job, so he'll be fine there. And you've got Papi and Nelson Asafa-Solomona named it on the extended there. I saw an image of Nas playing reserve grade last week. Looked fucking terrifying for the poor brickies that had to mark him. But Papi on the extended bench, you would assume if Papi comes in, Munster would move to 5'8". I think that would mean that Pizzette would go back to the bench there. For the Doggies, nothing to really touch on here. 1-17, you've got Montoya and Satilli on the extended bench. Potentially Montoya, he comes in for Tuala, marking up against that Xavier Coates edge. I don't know if there's going to be much difference between Tuala and Montoya realistically. I think it'll be Stephen Crichton that'll make the difference if they are to stop that aerial raid. And Satilli Tupanui, you would expect if he is available, he will probably come onto the bench. He'll add a lot to that side. Size coming off the bench, good to see. Super Saturday, Mandu, what do we got?
Super Saturday, by the way, I saw Nelson Asafa-Solomona at the airport on Friday, and I've probably the biggest person I've ever seen.
The Melbourne Eclipse.
Yeah, you can't miss him at the airport, that's for sure. So Super Saturday kicks off with the Sea Eagles taking on the Dolphins. This is an interesting one, 10th and 9th place, but I think we're going to see a bit of a difference in those numbers. This one is at Brookie Oval. I've been told not to say 4 Pines Park. Shout out to whoever that was. And this one kicks off at 3 p.m.
Yeah, I believe this one is Daly Cherry Evans' 350th game as well. So congratulations to DCE. Not playing the greatest footy right now. A lot of people weirdly coming at him big time. But shout out to DCE. Look, the only big change for Manly is Tommy Talau. He'll line up at centre. Ruben Garrick, it sounds like his season is Red Rover, which sucks. For the Dolphins, Fangai returns at centre, which means that Hamiso moves to fullback, and you'll have Trey Fuller coming off the bench. I wouldn't be surprised if we get late changes in that Dolphins game there. But yeah, second last game of the season at Brookvale Oval. DCE's 350th, I believe, and his second last game at Brookvale Oval in general in Manly colours. 5:30, Kat.
5:30, we have the Titans hosting the New Zealand Warriors at Seabus Super Stadium on the Gold Coast. As you mentioned, this one kicks off 5:30.
Yeah, for the Titans, they've still got Keeney named on the bench, so we'll wait and see how that plays out. Brian Kelly returns in the centres, and Jermaine Jolliffe is also out of this one from the forward pack. For the Wars, a couple of big changes here. We've mentioned over the last few weeks that we thought Torpiki would drop out of that fullback space once a centre became available. Rocco Berry has been named there, which means that Chance moves into the fullback role, Torpiki off the bench. Obviously, we've got Jackson Ford, who's been given a 3-game suspension, so Vimalga, he jumps into the prop role. Capewell returns on the edge, and on the bench, we're going to have Lecker and Tamare Martin returning from HIA protocol, so good to see him back out there. Very keen to see Tanner Boyd return to the Gold Coast as well in this one. Late game Saturday.
Late game, 7:35 p.m. kickoff. We have the Parramatta Eels taking on the Sydney Roosters. This one is at CommBank Stadium.
Yeah, not a huge amount of changes for the Parramatta Eels. Luca Moretti, he obviously got injured in just about the first hit-up. That was bizarre scenes the other night. Got injured off the kickoff, sprinted to the sideline to come off, and then got to the sideline, turned around, went back on, and just went like a maniac for another 20 minutes. He is out this week, though, Moretti, which means that Dill Walker, he'll start in jersey 13 for the Eels. For the Roosters, only two changes. Daniel Tupu's out. Funnily enough, replaced by Junior Tupu, comes straight in. Junior Tupu was pulled from New South Wales Cup last week. I would assume, I didn't notice Daniel Tupu go off for HIA protocols during the game, so I imagine that would have settled in late or at training.
They said late symptoms.
Late symptoms, yeah.
It wasn't shown early.
So Junior gets his opportunity on the wing for the Roosters, and Siwa Wong also comes back from a HIA from that Dolphins game. He will start on the edge there as well. Sunday footy, Mando?
Sunday footy starts at 2 p.m. We have the Newcastle Knights hosting the Brisbane Broncos at McDonald Jones Stadium in Newey.
Yeah, the Newcastle Knights have got Phoenix Crossland returning, a big in for them. He will start at 9, which means that Jaden Brayley will go back to the bench. Matty Arthur drops out of the side. So I would assume that means that Crossland will start in the 9. He'll probably move into that lock forward role probably 30 minutes into that game or whatever it might be, and then Brayley will come on and finish the game. For the Broncos, Jaden Hunt, he's been named on the edge, and good to see Jesse Arthur's back in the side. Coming off the bench, though, which is an interesting one for the Broncos there. Last game of the week, Kat.
Last game, we rounded out with the West Tigers taking on the Cowboys. This one is at Leichhardt Oval. Said that very strangely. Leichhardt Oval, 4:05 p.m.
Yeah, these two teams, they've got a bit of a weird history over the last few years. Weird shit always happens with these guys, and it's good to see Stafford Toa named because this is just about the Stafford Toa Cup over the last few years. He seems to explode every single time. So you got him named at centre. You got the Fainu boys on both edges, which is cool to see again. For the North Queensland Cowboys, nothing huge here. Jordan McLean returns at prop. There was rumours that Murray Tuilagi was going to make his return this week. He has not been named, not on the extended or anything. So I'm expecting those sides to run out as they are. Valia has been named in the centres for the North Queensland Cowboys with Labert still coming off the bench. We obviously were expecting the young fella Makassini for the West Tigers. It's been the worst rumour in rugby league for the last 6 fucking months, it feels like, that he would get a gig for the West Tigers. I thought this game would have been perfect, Leichhardt Oval against the Cowboys, for him to potentially get his opportunity, but he hasn't been named there as it stands. So we'll wait and see if he gets a debut before the end of the regular season. And the bye this week, we have got the Cronulla Sharks on the bye this week. All right, guys, thanks for joining us once again for Team List Tuesday, round 25. We've only got 2 more of these episodes to go before we head into NRL finals. We'll have Beers and Break Evens coming your way tomorrow at 3 p.m. Huge announcement there as well. Some breaking news for that one. And then we'll have Sowie joining us on Thursday for more of the greatest rugby league dribble you will find.